Record number of Chinese warships spotted around Taiwan. U.S. soldier flees disciplinary action into North Korea. Russia halts grain deal but Ukraine wants use of the corridor to continue. Russian tourists flee Crimea after attack on landmark bridge. U.S. Powerball jackpot balloons to $1 billion. Tesla charging may not need to plug in. Air taxis may take off as early as 2025 in the U.S. Beijing remains silent on foreign minister's location.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Wednesday, July 19th, and here are your top stories. Taiwan rang alarm bells after 16 Chinese warships were spotted milling around the island within a 24-hour period. The operation marks the biggest deployment of ships in the Taiwan Strait since Taipei started to list daily updates of People's Liberation Army activities around the island in 2022. Taiwan's Defense Ministry analysts said the operation, which comes a week after the People's Liberation Army Navy carried out exercises over Taiwan, is the latest step in China's intimidation campaign.
Hawaii-based analyst Carl Schuster described China's conduct as a growing military effort to confuse Taiwan and increase the number of possible attack routes to defend. Schuster told CNN he now expects China to ramp up pressure on Taiwan, increasing the number of units involved in operations around the island. He said, "We will see more such exercises and next year's will be more complex and larger in terms of units involved in the extent of their activities."
An American soldier facing disciplinary action fled across the inter-Korean border into North Korea on Tuesday. South Korea's Ilbo Daily, citing South Korea's army, identified the person as Travis King, a U.S. Army soldier with the ranking of Private Second Class. The newspaper later deleted the name. The U.S. military in Korea said he was on an orientation tour of the joint security area between the Koreas and willfully and without authorization crossed the military demarcation line into the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
What we do know is that one of our service members who was on a tour willfully and without authorization crossed the military demarcation line.
CBS News said that before the incident the soldier was being escorted back to the United States for disciplinary reasons, but after going through airport security somehow managed to join a group of tourists in the border tour. Dinga and the Chosun Ilbo Daily newspapers reported, citing South Korean army sources, that the man was with a group of tourists, including civilians, to visit the Panmunjom Truce village when he suddenly bolted over the brick line marking the border. The joint security area is in the demilitarized zone border.
Russia halted participation on Monday in the year-old UN broker deal that let Ukraine export grain through the Black Sea, causing concerns in poorer countries that raised prices will make food too expensive to buy. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told reporters, "Unfortunately, the part of these Black Sea agreements concerning Russia has not been implemented so far, so its effect is terminated." UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres signaled that the related pact to assist Russia grain and fertilizer exports was also terminated.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Monday that everything must be done so that the Black Sea grain export corridor continues to be used after Russia halted its participation. Spokesperson Serhiy Nikiforov quoted Zelensky as saying, "Even without the Russian Federation, everything must be done so that we can use this Black Sea corridor. We are not afraid." Zelensky ordered Ukraine's foreign ministry to prepare an official note to the UN and Turkey on whether they would be ready to continue with the initiative.
In the run-up to Monday's attack on Russia's road and rail bridge to Crimea, state TV broadcast footage a long traffic jam in southern Russia as tourists wait in their cars for hours to cross over to start their summer holidays. After explosions tore through the road bridge, killing a couple who had planned to holiday in Crimea and wounding their daughter, it broadcast traffic jams going in a different direction as tourists try to drive home through Russian-controlled southern Ukraine, territory that Kyiv is fighting to take back.
State-run news agency RIA said a tailback of more than 5 kilometers had formed as Russian tourists made for home, using the Chonhar Bridge, which was briefly put out of action by a missile attack last month. Moscow blamed the attack on the Crimean Bridge, the second since Russia sent its armed forces into Ukraine, on Kyiv. A source in Ukraine's security service, SBU, told CNN this attack was a joint operation of the SBU and Ukraine's naval forces. Ukrainian media said SBU had deployed maritime drones.
The Powerball jackpot has ballooned to $1 billion after Monday night's drawing produced no winners, the third largest purse in Powerball history. Powerball officials said in a press release there has been 37 consecutive drawings without a jackpot. The most recent jackpot winner was in April 19, 2023 drawing, which had a grand prize worth $252.6 million. The new jackpot for Wednesday's drawing would be the third highest in U.S. history and keep growing until someone wins.
If you woke up feeling lucky this morning, then today just might be your day. The Powerball jackpot has jumped to a staggering $900 million.
If a player wins the jackpot on Wednesday night, they will have the choice between an annuitized prize worth an estimated $1 billion or a lump sum payment estimated at $516.8 million, both before taxes. The game's abysmal odds of 1 in 292.2 million are designed to build big prizes that draw more players. The largest Powerball jackpot was $2.04 billion Powerball last November. Powerball is played in 45 U.S. states, as well as Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Tesla has already made great strides when it comes to achieving mainstream acceptance of plug-in electric vehicles. Now, there are rumors that the EV manufacturer might be looking towards pioneering an even newer type of car, EVs that don't plug in at all. Electrek reported that Tesla may be close to acquiring a German company called Wifrion that was founded in 2016 and focuses on creating inductive, wireless charging for industrial robots and EVs. One issue with wireless charging is it has been much less effective than plug-in charging.
It appears like Tesla is in the process of acquiring a wireless charging company based in Germany.
However, according to Electrek, the technology has been closing the gap in recent years, opening the door for this futuristic advancement. While the deal is not done yet, Tesla has been named in an official filing. According to Business Insider, one of the Wifrion investors had confirmed the exit to an interesting buyer, without naming a name. Tesla is likely to have paid at least a mid to high double-digit million amount for the Bavarian startup. Charging ports could eventually prove irrelevant if wireless charging becomes the way of the future.
In a document published on Tuesday, the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration outlined the step that it and others need to take to usher in a competitive air taxi market in at least one location by 2028, with limited operations starting as early as 2025. Joby Aviation and Archer Aviation are among the U.S. air taxi companies furthest along in that certification process, and both hope to have certified aircrafts and start commercial services in 2025. Ahead of the FAA's 2028 goal.
The US FAA said the plan is intended to serve as a guide for introducing the aircraft in a way that is predictable and routine. But creating the conditions for air taxis to zip above one or more cities by 2028 will be no small task, and aircraft manufacturers will need the help of many others besides the FAA, including other federal agencies and state and local governments. Still, the FAA's plan underscores a growing belief among industry analysts and executives that the necessary elements are coming together for air taxis to take off.
The New York Times reported after China's leader Xi Jinping catapulted Qin Gang into the post of foreign minister in December, Mr. Qing set a frantic pace, meeting dozens of foreign officials as he pressed Beijing's agenda in a divided, war-stricken world. Then Mr. Qing went silent. As of Monday, he has not made a public appearance in 3 weeks. The Chinese government acknowledged last week that Mr. Qing, 57, would skip the Jakarta meeting, citing health reasons. but it has otherwise declined to give any detail or updates.
中央国务院兼外长因身体原因难以出席此次系列外长会。
The Times said as questions have mounted over Mr. Qin's extended absence, overseas Chinese commentators have offered theories that an affair with a television personality might be behind his problems, and the speculation has become big news in Taiwan. Abrupt disappearances of senior Chinese officials from public life are often seen as potential signs of trouble. The mystery has seeped into conversations among diplomats and political insiders in the Chinese capital.
Now let's delve into the news of US Powerball jackpot ballooning to $1 billion. Number 1, balloon. 激增,快速膨胀. In London, the use of the tube has ballooned. Number 2, consecutive. 连续不断的. She was absent for 9 consecutive days. Number 3, jackpot. 头奖,大奖. A nurse won the £5 million jackpot. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's it for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune into Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below now to join Funday for free. I'm Wei Li, your host. I'll see you next time.
不好意思，
那边坐。这是你的麦克风。待会我们拍的时候呢，如果我没有喊卡的话，你就继续念，不要停。OK。没有喊卡就给我继续念下去哦。
好的。Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is December 13th, and here are your top stories.